So today, we're diving into the storylines to watch, the dark horses that could shake up the tournament, and the breakout stars who might just define this Champions League season. So guys, give me your dark horses. We're going to be starting off with that, Lahoud. So you start off.
Yeah, look, last year we were talking about the Lilles, the Feyenoords, maybe some of the Brests. Well, can't believe I just said that. But this season, we're going to go in with a team from La Liga in Villarreal. And I know you're very high on them as well. They have the right manager in Marcelinho, but one player that they got in the summer transfer window, George Mikutadze, coming from Lyon.
There you go.
He's a quality player, right? You lose Alex Baena, who is one of the best assist getters in La Liga last season. He goes to Atleti, but I think they've upgraded in terms of what they need most in the Champions League. You need goals. Denny Parejo, he's the conductor in there. They have a couple injuries with Moreno and some of their other quality experienced players, but at the end of the day, getting players like Tejan Buchanan, getting the Mikutadzes, and ultimately getting Moreno and Ayoso Perez back when the Champions League does start is going to be to their benefit. I don't think a lot of teams are going to want to go to Spain to play them.
They've got a lot of really good young talent as well, so they'll be going into this Champions League probably never played in this tournament before. Look, 21, 22 years old. Is this an advantage for them, do you think, or at a disadvantage?
There's a blend of young talent, but also a core of experienced players who have played in this competition and have delivered on the biggest nights, both domestically and in Europe. But the big thing is going to be the manager. Marcelinho's had success going to some of the biggest grounds in Europe and delivering blockbuster performances, so it's there for the taking.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, Villarreal likes this competition. They've had a couple of deep runs in their history. I think back in 2006, I think back to when Unai Emery was managing them, it was 4 seasons ago or so. I think losing Alex Baena is a big miss. He was their best player without a shadow of a doubt last year. Can George Mikutadze kind of replicate a little bit of that creativity? I don't know. I've seen sparks and moments of George Mikutadze. I want to see him kind of shoulder a bigger responsibility throughout the entire season. Tejan Buchanan, I mean, scoring a hat trick in one of the first match days, it's pretty epic for them. So yes, there is potential. But I felt like Villarreal has had decent enough finishes in Champions League that I didn't want to go the dark horse route with Villarreal just yet. I went a little bit lower in the pecking order with mine.
Where are you going?
I went with Olympiacos from Greece. Out of all the Greek teams, we've been kind of waiting for somebody to really take European football by the horns. And Olympiacos has done this by winning Conference League, getting into, being the first Greek team to win any European silverware. And it's been a process that really has had longevity with Jose Luis Mendilibar, and they have an identity. They know what they want, and led by Ayoub El Kabi up top. I mean, and Hodjine, one of the better players. Hesse in the midfield. It's a team that's strong. I don't know if they're going to finish top 8. I don't think they'll finish top 8. But if they can sneak into the knockout playoff round, perhaps they can have a surprise or two. Yeah,
the big thing in the Champions League, especially in the league phase, it depends who you draw. And I like Villarreal more than Olympiacos because of the things I talked about, the players coming back from injury, they lack depth. Yeah. You remember last season in the Europa League when El Kabi went down? Yeah. The whole project went down. Right? So anything that happens to him in a World Cup year, he's got the African Cup of Nations as well with Morocco. I don't see it happening. That's the one thing. If there wasn't any AFCON, then I agree with the dark horse.
Okay, fair.
Well, with the Champions League, there's always exciting storylines. Those people that break out this season, they get their name out there into the world of football. So, Lahoud, give me who you think will be your breakout star of this Champions League campaign.
Okay, I know Arsenal fans are going to be rolling their eyes at this, but I'm going Mika Biereth. We saw him last season in the Champions League for
Arsenal fans don't even know who Mika is.
They gave him away for nothing.
They don't even know.
They gave him away for nothing, right? They don't know how good he is, but he's showing that talent. I think he's going to show that talent in this year's competition. What I saw last season, and we see him playing for Monaco, the big thing about him when you watch him play, he's your old school number 9. He's not going to wow you with getting shots from distance. He's going to post you up. And the most important thing is he's clinical in the box. Right now in world football, there aren't enough consistent goal scorers and not enough young players who just want to post you up, get the ball, and then he has quality movement, clever movement. I watched a lot of his goals. Last season, I think he scored 15 goals. 13 of them come within the 6, Nico.
Yeah.
That's class. And then, of course, if we're going to talk about player comparisons, when I watch players in the Premier League and in world football, the guy that you know very well.
Yeah, it just said Danish Ollie Watkins.
Yeah,
Why is
Ollie
he compared
Watkins.
to him?
Well, I think of Ollie Watkins' unselfish movement. There's an unselfishness about him. Ollie Watkins scores big goals. He's good with his back to goal. He's good running into channels. He's robust as well, but he has open gaps for other players. And when I watch Monaco, U.S. men's national team fans who do watch Monaco are going to be very excited because he's going to open up gaps for Folarin and Balogun. In the Champions League.
Yeah, definitely. Monaco could have also been a dark horse. I don't know if they're too big of a club. I struggled to pick a dark horse in the whole list because the teams were either not good enough or just on the cusp, like a Villarreal, like a Monaco. But Monaco's been putting together a really good team. This guy already proved that he can score, not only in Austria, in France as well. I mean, his season from January to July, June was sensational. Like, simply extraordinary, like the best case scenario for a guy showing up in the middle of the season. So I'm really excited to see what he does in Champions League.
Yeah, and look, back to the Arsenal thing, that's 2 players now the Gunners have given away for nothing. I mean, 15 million euros for him to go to Monaco, and Balogun, we're still waiting for him to be healthy, but I think that partnership is going to yield dividends in the Champions League.
Nico, who's your breakout star?
Okay, so my breakout star, I think this is kind of cheating because we saw him a lot in the Europa League, but in the Champions League, it's a different animal. And I went to Bodo Glimt's Patrick Berg. I don't think Bodo Glimt can specifically be a dark horse. I think they're going to have a tough challenge ahead, but this guy is the conductor of the orchestra. He drops deep. He can receive the ball in between the center backs and create, but then a center back can press into the midfield and he can be a little bit freer, closer to the attack and hit that key pass. He can score. He has so much spatial awareness and understanding of the game. If he doesn't wave his wand, Bodo Glimt isn't the same. And all of the success in the Europa League from last season came at the feet of this guy, Patrick Berg, 27, 28-year-old
27
Norwegian, 27 years old. I had to choose a comparison. I guess, proportionally speaking, please, before the comments come at me, the Norwegian Xavi, if you will.
Not Norwegian Busquets. Same position, anchor?
Yeah, I know, but he likes to progress further up the field a little bit. I think Busquets was a back row seat to everything, kind of like that first point of contact to start plays in the midfield, give it that pivot. I think this guy has a little bit more forward progression than Busquets, and I didn't want to go Iniesta because Iniesta was closer to goal, and I think Xavi was like that perfect in between. So, proportionally speaking, as good as the Norwegian Xavi can be, that's Patrick Berg.
Well, surely all that experience as well in the Europa League. I know you say Champions League is a different beast, but it's got to help him at some point this season. Guys, all the action starts next week. We're all excited. I can't believe how fast it's come around. I felt like we just had the final with PSG winning, but the Champions League phase will take place next week, all starting off then. You can catch that all on Paramount+.